Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining me this morning. It is a nice, cool morning. I think the sun, it was raining. I'm trying to look outside. I think I see some clouds, which is good because it's been kind of wet these past couple of days. But I did see the sun peek out because the other day we were able to go to the park near my house with the kids and just check it out. I've never been to that park. It's okay park. It's good park for kids if you wanna have a picnic and just go. As for older people, you could have a nice walk around the park because there's, like, a pathway that goes around the park, but there's no, like, basketball courts or backstop for playing baseball or softball or something, so, I guess you could bring because it has a large field, so you could probably bring out some, like, goalposts or portable goals, play some soccer or something. Put down some cones, play some football. So there is space for that, but I prefer a place where it has a little bit of basketball. So even if it's just one hoop on concrete and you just shoot around, it would have been nice if they had a court. So it's good for kids, and I'll take my kids out there if they want to just have fun or whatever. Anyways, thank you for joining me this morning. We are on day 95 in Proverbs, and we are on chapter 14. Whether you're joining me in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening time, I welcome you here. Whatever time of day you come, welcome on this journey that we're going through 365 days through the Bible. And if you join me, totally great. I'll go ahead and type in the chat. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So let's go ahead and go through it. Here it is. Day 95, Proverbs 14, verses 1 through 2. The wisest of women builds her house, but folly with her own hands tears it down. Whoever walks in uprightness fears the Lord, but he who is devious in his ways despises him. So the wisest of women builds her house, but folly with her own hands tears it down. Whoever walks in uprightness fears the Lord. He who is devious in his ways despises him. All right. So I will have to kind of make a little thing about women back in the days. So back in those days, women were the ones in the household. But so that's a lot of leaning towards that culture, but it's not intended to be gender specific. So they've been saying a lot of men last time because we had the wayward woman and the man kind of walking around in previous chapters and stuff like that. But it's a choice. The wisest of women because it makes sense. Builds her house, and so if we looking for modern audiences, no, it's not just the woman who builds her house; it's everybody. And the intention is this idea of this house building, whether you're a woman or male or female, or both, whatever is your preference. But I'll go ahead and say, yeah, if you're man or female, man or woman, male or female, whatever, it doesn't really matter. In your household, how are you building it? Like, and if you're wise, you are actually building it. You are building, which is intentional means in which to create an environment that is that is right, that is uh, in accordance with the Lord. If you look in the descriptions below, you'll see what it means to be a wise person. There's a lot of different baselines. Uh, there's a baseline generally of all these different characteristics of someone who is wise, and that's kind of how it is. And if you're following it, then yeah, you're doing your best to do what you can to be that person. Yeah, that's definitely a positive thing to be, whether you're a follower of Jesus or not. But I will say that if you are, it actually helps to have purpose of where all your moral compass comes from. If your moral compass comes from the Lord, yeah, that's totally amazing. That's a good thing to be thinking about. Um, if you haven't accepted Jesus into your life, then definitely go ahead and put a comment in the chat, and I'll go ahead and talk to you about it if you want to. You can DM me and stuff like that, whatever. But yeah, the wise woman, wise man, whatever it is, builds her house. It is an intentional way in which it's intentional. It doesn't just happen from just to happen. It happens because you wanted it to happen. You tried, you're intentionally building your house for your children, it's a legacy thing. You're building this place for the future. And especially if you're wise, because you're thinking about the future, you're thinking about what comes next, you're thinking about the people around you. And if you're wise, you are building that place. And it is a life-giving situation. The opposite, and then you got the opposite. Folly with her own hands tears it down. So for a person who does not is not wise in their decision, who makes bad decisions and financial and relational decisions, basically tears it down. Financially, if you're making bad decisions financially, like living outside of your means, you could lose your house. So you need to pay attention to your finances, be appropriate with your finances, and live within your means, and not worry about what other people think, but worry about what God thinks. Because in the next verse, you'll see fear of the Lord. We know that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of the wisdom. If you fear the Lord, so your the way you are with the Lord is more important than the way you look in front of all these other people. And so if that means that you are not wearing name brand clothing or shoes, have the biggest screen TV and best cars, yeah, that's totally fine because you're fearing the Lord more than people. Um, Unfortunately, if you try to please people, you ultimately it feels like you will lose because you cannot please everybody. So those bad decisions and bringing toxic behavior into the household is basically tearing it down. It's not life-giving, it tears it down relationally and physically, like financially, and so don't have a house like that. So, chapter verse 2, whoever walks in uprightness fears the Lord. Again, it alludes back to Proverbs 1, where the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And so if you are walking uprightness, which is following the baselines and everything that is in it, should I just go down there and kind of remind everybody what the baselines are? We could. Um, it's a whole thing. Fearing the Lord, doing what is right, the words that come out of your mouth is life-giving. You follow the fruits of the spirits: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, faithfulness. You're compassionate to other people. You're slow to, I want to say slow to anger, but that wasn't it. But that's a teaching of Jesus. But anyways, that's actually true too. Um, you take care of your responsibilities. You're responsible for your own mistakes. You have a counsel that helps you with making decisions and actually calls you out when you're making bad decisions. And you're okay with being teachable. When someone calls you out, you consider the words and you be wise about it because there's a reason why they're calling you out. And so you need to think about it and be real about your decisions, whether they're good or bad, and you decide whether or not it's right or what they say. And but then also having that discussion between each other. If it's a true concern from the other person, yeah, you should go ahead and listen to them. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot that is a baseline of when you're fearing the Lord and following him, having wisdom as your guide, then that is the thing. um so again, if you're fearing the Lord, you're walking in uprightness, because fearing the Lord means you're following the baselines. But he who is devious in his ways despises him. Verse 2, second part. Yeah, that's definitely the situation. I'm actually cold right now. It is pretty cold this morning. Anyways, devious is the opposite. You're not fearing the Lord. You're doing whatever you want. You're um, causing relational distress with other people, and then ultimately it would be yourself. you're basically showing that you don't like him at all. You're despising the Lord by the way you're not you're not following the baselines, basically what it is. You're not listening to counsel. You're you're being manipulative in your ways. Um, and you're doing whatever the heck you want without any counsel or wisdom at all. And so um, it is possible to have good outcomes by being devious, um, but over time it doesn't stand because you know you have to. It's just the way it is. Because if you're using unhanded or untruthful ways in which to get what you want, that's not a good thing. Anyways, but so as it relates to me, for verse 1, yeah, I'm trying my best to be wise. I'm living within my means. We did get a new place, literally, for $100 extra a month. I'm renting. I'm not a home buyer, and we talked about this before. My family's never been rich, and so I'm trying to do the best for myself and my family with the house that I have. And so this house is twice the size of my old house, and it's only $100 more a month. So that's pretty crazy. And then moving here, I also got a deal on my cell phone. My family's cell phone services, like I'm saving $40 a month, which is it's a lot. And then even my internet service is a little cheaper. And so and actually my home security got cheaper too for some reason. I have no idea why all this happens, but just for now, everything's cheaper than what it was in my other place, which was a smaller place, and the management was terrible. But this place, the management's really good, and I met the owner. He's a really nice guy, and he said he's going to be around taking care of the outside of the house. So definitely good stuff. Anyways, so and as for fearing the Lord, yeah, I do fear the Lord, and I'm trying my best to do the best I can following the baselines. I don't want to deceive other people, and I do want to take responsibility for my actions. And so, with that in mind, I want to do the best that I can for for whoever's around me. So I know I'm not perfect. I'll never be perfect, but I'll try my best. That's all I have. So, anyways, hopefully you learned something today and we're encouraged. If you need someone to talk to, go ahead and leave a comment in the comments below, and I'll respond to you. And yeah, thank you for joining me. Have a good day. Peace. What do you mean you're gonna be? Really? Hmm. I was looking in the chat. Are you really going to be single? I could talk to that. One of the things that happened was I have a wonderful wife, and one of the things I'm just talking to you there, Tysena, specifically. One of the things that I always wondered it was if I was ever going to get married and stuff like that. I'm actually older. I'm actually much older. And my friends, all my friends, found someone. I actually never really had a real girlfriend in my young adult years. In high school, I went ahead and tried. There's always girls I like and stuff like that. But you know what? If you follow the baselines and really try to work on yourself and your things, and yeah, if your goal is not to be single, then yeah, you just have to continue to work on yourself to be someone of upstanding character and everything. And the chances of finding someone is a little bit better. Um, I'm not saying that you will find someone, but the chances are, if you're working on yourself, working on your thing that you love to do, your career, your own hobbies, building a community of friends and people who love you with your family. And I don't know if you go to church or anything like that, but I feel like um, constant looking um, can have the opposite effect. I don't know. That's how I feel. God will give to you what you He will give to you, and so it took me a long time. It wasn't until I was like in my 30s. Was I 30? How old was I? I was like in my 30s when I finally found the love of my life. It took me a long time. I was always had my eye open, and when opportunities came up, I just went for it, sort of, as I got more confident in talking to people of those of the opposite sex. And yeah, and the reason why I have my wife now is because I was in a community of people who loved me and encouraged me, and actually knew people. And so finding a group of friends or a community of people is really important. And actually, it's biblical to have a fellowship, to have a group of people. And it doesn't mean that you have to go to Sunday service or something like that. But small groups are really good. If you could get into a small group, a Bible study, you could look at the different Bible studies, or even just regularly meeting with people and talking about God, hanging out, living life together. That's always a plus. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, that's how I feel about that matter. Yeah, my main thing is just, yeah, you just work on yourself. That's how I say about that. Anyways, anything else out there, guys? Um, I'm done with my stream, and I'm gonna move on to other things because I have a full morning. I'm gonna go ahead and so when I was moving, we've been moving for the last couple weeks, and I'm almost completely moved out of my old place. Yesterday, my family went over to the house, or to as much as they're able to. My son helped out a lot. He's going to be 14 in a couple weeks, and he's doing his best, I think, in his own mind and stuff like that. Um, he's the kind of guy who will do the minimum most possible to get the results that he wants. But anyways, I did the putty thing because my daughter went around and she was counting like holes in the wall, and she did like, there's like over so many holes in the wall. I was like, oh my gosh. And so my kids went around, I went around, my wife went around, we went around and patched up the walls with the little putty thing. It's pretty cool. Um, the walls actually look a lot better because they're terrible looking and everything. I don't think we're gonna get our deposit back from renting, but just the way it is. But we're almost moved out, and like 90% or 95% of everything that we have is pretty much moved out. All the little things. There's a couple little things that I'm trying to figure out what those things are. But the main things that we're going to be moving next time, I wouldn't mind moving it today, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be moving it like on this next week. My two, my washer and dryer, because we hate the one that are at the current house, so we're going to get rid of those two washer and dryers and use ours because it's electric and it's energy efficient and all that kind of stuff. And then my table. I When I first moved into my previous place, my wife goes, "Oh, I really want a farm table." So low key, I took up some woodworking, and I looked up some directions or instructions, and I didn't YouTube it, but I was just looking for specific. I was looking at pictures and stuff like that of what I wanted and stuff like that. And I had a friend, and then I kind of came up with a design and built it. The first iteration was fine, but the table shook, and so my father-in-law said, "Well, you're supposed to put like little braces on the sides on the bottom so it doesn't fall." And I was like, "All right." So I added little braces that go on the bottom. It's like, oh, and then it's like solid. It's a solid gaming table. That's how I see it. But other than that, it's a good table to go around and have about, like, have 8 people around it comfortably, three on each side, and then one on the ends. Um, so 8 people. I could have 12 uncomfortably if I were to use the corners and stuff like that. So it's a sizable table. Anyways, so I wanted to bring that in. I wanted to bring that in like today. That'd be great. Because our dining room, and we have a dining room area, is empty. It has boxes in it and stuff like that. But I needed the dining. I would like to kind of just see the space with the with it in there. I do have a couple of shelves and stuff in there with all my board games because that table is really good for game day, like game night. And I'm really excited to have game nights. So if you're interested and you're living in NorCal and you want a place where you could go ahead and do board gaming, this is the place to be because Friday nights it's on. Because I am really excited to have my place open for people who want to play board games. So that's all I have to say about that one. Anyways, is there anything else? I'm open for whatever. Well, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. A second time. That I was looking in the chat and I saw that things and Tyson, I hope I give all the luck to you. Yeah, again, look at your like you have to deal with yourself. Always deal with yourself first. And so when I found my wife, I was actually working on um getting my teaching credential stuff. I was like, right when I go, I'm gonna get my teaching credential. And once I said that, for some reason, I don't know, I made a decision to do something about myself, and doors opened. And 2 years later, I got married to my current wife, and she's going to be my current wife, hopefully for the rest of my life. I don't know, just the way it is. But yeah, leave a comment below if you have any more questions, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for joining me. Peace. Saturday morning talk. Saturday morning, right? Yeah, Saturday morning talk. See you later, guys.